About 6 years ago, I was 15 years old and my friends and I were going to sit in front of the house and chat as usual. When I came downstairs, they were scaring a child. So I agreed with that and said, someone died secretly in this apartment. So we buried him decked out between the walls. We also said that your soul is always wandering and everyone is very scared. Of course, the child believed it with his mind. That's what we're trying to scare it out of. While they were walking behind the house, I was making the following people listen to the strange sounds that I had taken out of the microphone with the speakers of the stereo that I had taken out. The child was so scared that other children who did not know about it began to believe it. So we have prepared a place in the basement of the next block for this to continue. It looked as if there was a dead person. Friends were also throwing glass on the floors from behind the walls. Inside, the sounds were echoing. Now the children of the whole neighborhood believed in it. They all said, "It can't be such a sex," he was saying. We finally made it to the evening without any mishap. A group of these friends, they were going to come down again. They believed, but they were wondering what would happen at night. We found out that they were going there at night, and we started thinking black and white that we couldn't do anything with friends, because our game was going to come out. We were sitting in the gazebo. At that time, something black passed in front of us. We said, either a cat or a dog for this. We finally made a decision. We were going to our secret hiding place. This was an empty house. We were entering through the ground floor shutter of the apartment building. We entered the house. We tried to turn on the lights, but they wouldn't come on, and suddenly that black thing passed in front of us again. We couldn't believe it. It wasn't a cat. If it was a dog, it would attack. We were so scared. At that time, friends started calling us with screams. We thought they were playing a game on us, but it wasn't a game. When they came downstairs, the basement's light-receiving windows started breaking and sounds started coming from inside the walls. So we didn't believe it and went down. What we saw in the end scared us too. There was a lot of something there, and a person couldn't have done it without us knowing. We also had the keys. That's the table over there and the knife. It was literally bloody, and that's when that black thing came out from inside again. We were going to miss it under us now. We ran away. The best thing was that everyone went home. We returned to our homes. I was praying non-stop. Finally, since I was going to sleep in the living room because my grandmother was staying with us, I took my things and went to the living room. I always heard a sound when I closed my eyes to sleep. These were like footsteps, as if someone was walking towards me and approaching. I opened my eyes and the sound stopped. When I closed my eyes again, it seemed that something was approaching again. I opened my eyes immediately. I couldn't stand it. I was going to scream. Finally, I read all the prayers I knew and went to sleep. But he did not remedy it. Literally, a voice inside me said, "Definitely don't pray and don't open your eyes," he was saying. I couldn't stand it. Suddenly I jumped up with a cigarette and ran inside. That day I slept next to my brother. When I woke up the next day, something had happened at the meeting place. In the morning, dozens of eyes and people had seen shadows and heard voices in that lightless house. We were all like crazy too. We couldn't go anywhere until he got better. Later we found out that someone called a spirit while making this game. I promised myself never to do such a thing again,